Hello folks, my name is Mark, this is Why I Hate the World, how you guys doing? Roastie is an insult to come out of the incel red pillar MRM people, and what the hell does it mean? Well, it's basically another way of calling a woman a slut or a whore. You know, that's what all of their insults really seem to like boil down to. And in this case, it's the it's when it's the resemblance of a woman's private parts to roast beef because she's had too much sex, right? And it's a term thrown out, you know, because they're extremely jealous, and and it's kind of like a sour grapes kind of thing. Like, oh, I don't want that. Like, your friend gets a brand new car and you can't afford it, and you go, oh, I wouldn't want that rusted piece of shit anyway. That's basically what they're doing. They see a beautiful woman, she wants nothing to fucking do with them, so they go, well, I wouldn't want to have sex with that roasty bitch anyway. So it's kind of like a, real, just pathetically sour grapey kind of sad, I'm gonna go take my toys and go cry in the corner, and I don't want to play with you anyhow kind of thing. And it really just sort of illustrates what these people, think is important, number one. Because, think about that. It's like, okay, you're making fun of the way a woman's vagina looks, right? Because you can't get any of it. Like, it always kind of mystifies me how these people think that, they want a woman to kind of like put out and drop to her knees and fillet them and have sex with them on command, right? They feel like they deserve it, and that any woman they come up to that they're even remotely interested in should immediately have sex with them. But at the same time, she should be like a virgin and shit, right? And if she does that too much, then she's a slut. So it's like, so they only, how are those things compatible? How do you get a woman that will fuck you immediately anytime you want, but at the same time is completely, pure and a virgin and has never done this with any other guy but you? How does that fucking work, I never understood that shit. And I don't see why. Like, you would think that men, especially incels and stuff, would want women to go out and be promiscuous, because then they would have sex with them. You would think that's what they would want, but they don't want that. They want, they basically want it to be like how it was back in the olden days when you would just like have betrothals and shit. And, somebody would like, the man, of course, could go and have all the sex he wanted with any woman he can get his hands on, but his wife, who was like given to him as, before he was even born and shit, was just, stays at home locked up with a chastity belt and only puts out for him and only has sex with him and is not allowed to have any other life outside of his desires and shit. And it's just absolutely fucking ridiculous. And, if that's what you think, if you're the kind of guy and this is what you think, you don't deserve to get laid, right? And fuck you. Anyway, that's all I got. Adios.